Hi, I'm Kent Thompson, Artistic Director of the Denver Center Theater Company, and I'm here today to talk to you about the 2011-2012 season. I think one of the most common questions people ask me is, how do you pick a season? And I have a kind of loose formula that has three categories. We're known at the Denver Center Theater Company for producing new plays. So we always are commissioning and endeavoring to bring to you the best new writing in American theater. The second one is, we're also known for doing classics, American and European classics, Shakespeare, the great tragedies and enduring comedies and stories throughout past history. And the final thing we do is we do contemporary hits and shows that have been popular in other cities, and we want to bring them to Denver because we think they'll be particularly relevant to you. So that's kind of my formula: classics, new plays, and contemporary hits and successes from across the world. So with that in mind, I'm going to start with a play that's both new and a classic, The Liar, adapted by David Ives from the original play by Pierre Corneille. And the central character, you might have guessed it, is somebody who cannot stop lying. And on that premise, David Ives has taken 17th century French verse and he's modernized it with his own wacky, inventive humor. I think it's both hip and classical, which is a lot to ask for a play. But I'm so excited we're starting our season with The Liar. Second in our season is an American classic, To Kill a Mockingbird, adapted by Christopher Sergel, based on the famous novel by Harper Lee. This has always been a favorite book of mine, partly because I'm a Southerner, but I think in large part because it's so authentic, it's so real. It depicts small-town Alabama for all its backwardness, for its racism and bigotry, but also for its integrity. And it's a lovely picture of this man, this lawyer, Atticus Finch, who becomes, in the course of the play, a great man. One of the things I talked about is bringing contemporary hits that have had successes around the country. We're bringing to the Ricketson Theater in the fall a play that I'm very excited about, American Night, written by Richard Montoya and the Culture Clash. Culture Clash is one of the funniest Latino trios, an ensemble that make up their own work. It's somewhere between sketch comedy and a play. When a young Latino immigrant is studying for his American history exam for his naturalization papers, an alternative version of American history, complete with the characters from American history, show up that night in his apartment to give him a lesson. It's a wild ride in the theater, irreverent, funny, provocative, sad, and spicy. The perfect start to a fall. I'm happy to say that we're bringing back the Family Series middle school production to the Denver Center Theater Company. We'll be doing this year The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Denver native Laura Eason, adapted from the famous novel by Mark Twain. It's a great time to bring your entire family to the theater. Part of the reason we're doing this is it's an important part of our mission, not only to provide theatrical opportunities for people of all ages, but also because we believe we need a theatrical, artistic connection to the education of school children throughout Colorado. Tom Sawyer is still taught in middle school throughout Colorado, and it's a great American classic, and it's a play about boys. The last two have been about girls, so I'm glad we're doing it this year. I'm happy to say that we'll be bringing back our production of A Christmas Carol, adapted by Richard Hellison with music by David DeBerry. You know, this book that Dickens wrote really changed the way we celebrate Christmas. It made us think about the true spirit of Christmas. It reminds us that we need to think about our fellow human beings as we celebrate the holidays. It's become a family tradition for people throughout Denver and Colorado, and we're happy to be returning it to our stages in 2011. In the winter of 2012, we'll be producing William Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. It's his knockabout farce about the Battle of the Sexes, and I'll be directing. This time we're doing the production set in America of the 1950s. It's the perfect time and place, I believe, for the play. Men were men, and women were, well, supposed to be housewives. And I hope the audience will go home having learned something different about this play. Who do you think the Shrew really is? Is it Kate or is it Petruchio? We're going to be doing 2 world premiere productions next year as part of our 7th Colorado New Play Summit. Both of these scripts we workshopped and read in the summit last year. 2 Things You Don't Talk About at Dinner is a comedy by one of America's leading playwrights, Lisa Loomer. It's a funny, provocative, bracing look at a Seder dinner gone terribly wrong. We've all been there, because they talk about the 2 things we should never talk about: politics and religion. The next new play we're premiering next year is a special project to me. It's The Whale by Samuel D. Hunter. It's about a morbidly obese man. He's been estranged from his family and, most importantly, his daughter. The play is about him trying to figure out his way back to his daughter. It's tough, it's sad, it's moving, it's funny, but it's remarkably uplifting. The spring always brings us a musical or a musical review. We'll bring you Ring of Fire, the music of Johnny Cash by Richard Maltby. And as you can guess, it's about the legendary songwriter and singer Johnny Cash, his music and his times, his life and his story. And it features in the title role Jason Edwards, who played Johnny Cash in Ring of Fire on Broadway. Rounding out our classics for the year will be George Bernard Shaw's Heartbreak House. This was one of his later plays. It's really a terrific play. It's about the best and the brightest of England, just before World War I, who couldn't seem to find their way to do anything to stop the oncoming war. They keep grappling with it, but they can't seem to do anything. The play is funny and exciting and dramatic and heartbreaking because of that. And the final title is To Be Announced by To Be Announced. I haven't picked it yet. I have several plays under consideration. What can I tell you about it? I think it'll be a new play or a newish play. I think it'll be something that will balance out the rest of the season. But I also want to find out which play is most ready to be produced by the Denver Center Theater Company. As always, I hope you'll join us for the season. It'll be a very exciting one, and we hope to see you in our theaters. For more information, go to our website, leave a comment, tell us what you think. Thanks very much.